Hiya, it's the 11th of June and we're gonna catch up on how things are going in the garden. So we'll start in the greenhouse where we've got this tomato planter. I think last time I showed you I'd just put all the tomatoes in and now they're all doing pretty well. So you can see this one, what's this one, a Tigerella, and it's just started to put some flowers out here, so they're not flowering yet but they will do soon, and you can see we've got this string that's holding it all the way up, and then we've got that one, this one as well, I think is maybe no flowers yet, some flowers on this next one, and as we go along they're all doing really well. So they're growing much better in here in the greenhouse than the few plants that I've thrown outside. We've also got these basil plants, so the basil's looking nice and strong. Might need to pinch that out so that it starts to grow a bit bushier. And then this is normal basil, and then we've also got here with the slightly pointier leaves, this is Thai basil as well. And then in the back we've got these marigolds which are also doing really nice. This one hasn't even started flowering yet actually, but they're all doing well. And then what you can also just see along the bottom is I've put this irrigation system in. So this is a pump here, solar powered pump, which is set to at the moment 15 minutes every 24 hours. It pulls the water through a pipe, which you can see runs up and into this water butt, which is now collecting all the water that comes off the roof. So from the roof into the water butt, and then from the water butt through this pump, and that gets pushed along and waters just drips right to the base of every single plant. And that's been working really well, and hopefully will keep working well if we go away on holiday, things like that. And then at the back we've got some other bits and pieces growing. So we're growing some grasses here. I can't remember what these red things are. Kaylee's been growing loads of those. Amaranthus, that's it. And then these are probably Rudbeckias. We've got a lot of Rudbeckias, more Rudbeckias, more Rudbeckias. Back here, these are our leeks, which are just slowly getting a bit bigger. We've got a tray here with some beetroots ready to go out, and then at the back planted some extra salad as well, so we'll use that in a bit. Over here we've got aubergines. So we've got 4 aubergines in big pots, and then a couple that are still just in little pots, which I might plant out at some point. But these ones are looking quite happy. Right in the middle there's just a spare sweet corn that I couldn't bring myself to get rid of, but it should be outside. It's properly rooting out the bottom, but we'll see. The ones, you can just see them outside as well. Those ones out in the bed, they're doing okay, but it's been a bit cold recently, so if one of them really struggles, I'll swap this one in for it. And then over here, these are our chilies. So I've potted up the cayenne into a bigger pot, and that's looking nice. It started to branch at the top and it started flowering now as well. So I might need to get the door open so some bugs can start pollinating this, and then hopefully we'll start getting some chilies off this plant. This one at the front is jalapeno, but that one hasn't started flowering yet, I don't think. Maybe it's just trying to there, but maybe not. So yeah, and then down here we used to have lots of dahlias, but they're now all outside, so we'll go and check on those. So here's some of the dahlias. We've just potted them all out essentially, all but about, well, these last few. So there's a few here still just in pots, but pretty much all of them are now potted up. You can see some things are already starting to attack them a bit, which is a shame, but some more growth, so hopefully they'll be able to win the battles. Once they get going, they grow really fast, so I'm hoping they'll grow fast enough to beat any predators. We've got this Agapanthus, which has put out a little bud, which is the first time we've had one. We've been growing these a few years. And you can see over here as well some pots that we potted up with like Dahlietas and more dahlias obviously. What's this, some Nigella here which has finally flowered, so once that goes over, I think we'll probably try and collect the seed. Maybe we'll cook with it, or maybe we'll grow with it, not sure. But every one of these pots with a little plant in is another dahlia. And then so if we come around here, got more dahlias here, one courgette which is battling with the cold weather as well, but yeah, more dahlias, more dahlias, more dahlias. Down here we've got our strawberries, and there's actually quite a good few strawberries on here, and they've started going red just in the last few days. So yeah, lots and lots and lots of strawberries have grown. And then in this bed we've got a row of beetroots now. We planted those out. This space here is going to be where the leeks go once they're ready. This should be a row of spinach, but that's not really grown. We've got some rocket, which is still putting a few leaves out, but not brilliant. Our lettuces, which are doing great, and we actually cropped a little bit of lettuce yesterday for the first time. And so these are now getting to the stage where we can just pick them and eat them whenever we want. Some radishes, which we probably need to eat, and a coriander plant, and then another spare basil that I've put out, but we'll see if that survives. It's a lot colder out here than it is in the greenhouse, so it's much happier in the greenhouse. Coming around this way, we've got some sweet peas, some more sweet peas, although these have started to go over a bit. Might need to start, oh no, but there's lots of new little flowers coming out. Some potatoes, which probably need earthing up a bit more. And then if we sneak down behind the greenhouse, we've then got more sweet peas here, and then the wall of peas as well. So here are all the peas. I'll walk backwards. The peas that are growing at the end of the bed, they've now already got to their kind of full height. They've started flowering, and now they've started podding as well. So these are a type of pea which do these purple pods, but then green peas. And you can see lots and lots of pods starting in here, all over the place. So hopefully soon we'll be able to come out here, and Kaylee just eats all the peas basically. Down here we've got some squash, which are really upset that I put them out when it was so cold, and so they've all gone, they're kind of a very unhappy shade of yellowy green. They're still alive. I'm hoping that once it gets a little bit warmer they'll just kick back into gear and start growing. We've got the sweet corn, which is still growing. It's getting there, but it's slowed right down because it's got so cold. And then we've got an absolute mass of onions over here. So these ones here are shallots, the ones that are kind of split into little clusters. So some of these have 3. This one over here has, I think, 5 in there. So those will form into little kind of clusters of shallots, and then the rest of them, like all these ones here, are just normal white onions. And what we do at the moment is if we need any like spring onion greens, we just chop the leaves off these and use these instead. So coming around this way, we've got little tray of flowers which are just about surviving. These are tomatillos at the back in this. They get really big and huge if the weather's nice. So I didn't want them in the greenhouse because I thought they'd take over, but you can see the difference. These are about the same size as the tomatoes when we put them in, but the tomatoes have done really well and these are really struggling. So it's just been so cold and wet, they're not really having a great time. Another courgette, which is still small, but hopefully will kick into gear. This is our black currant plant with a few black currants. We've got, I don't know, maybe 20 currants, so maybe we'll make some jam. And then just a couple of other potato plants. Need to have a look at the potato plants because some of those might be ready soon. This is just a load of cosmos waiting to be planted out into the garden. And then in the background, this is like jasmine, our blackberry plant that we've kind of trained along, and now it's started to branch upwards, so I'm trying to train those upwards as well. I'm hoping we'll actually get some blackberries off it this year. I think last year we got 1. And then herbs, rosemary, always rosemary, and then again, yeah, more dahlias here. So this one at the back is probably the biggest dahlia, but we've got all these various other dahlias as well. And then swinging round a few more pots here, so we tried to fill out the pots with some little small ones just to kind of make the pots look a bit nicer. But the rose is doing really well. It's not quite flowered, but it's got, I don't know, loads of buds on it, maybe like 10-15 buds on the rose, so looking forward to it. This is a rose I got Kaylee last year, which is like a greyish rose. It's very unusual, but very nice. And then you can still see we've still got we've got a few more of these ranunculus that have finally flowered, so they're looking really nice, just dotted around these little pockets of colour. And then these are ranunculus as well, so in these kind of nice whites and reds and pinks. Got these alliums, which are still just coming out nice and very slowly, just taking their time because it's gone so cold. Yeah, and then that's looking back up to the other end, so with our nice big Acer here, and then looking up to the far end of the garden. I think that's everything. I'll catch you in the next one.